What's up? A to Z Sports Live on a Friday. It's a good news Friday, and it's a dueling mock draft Friday. Gonna have a big show today. Roger asked, I guess Easton may be having technical difficulties again. No, my fault. That's me. I could not find the David Bailey picture that I used on Monday, and things were giving me a little bit of a difficult thing. So the truth asks, why give a time if you're always late? Because YouTube makes you give a time. We have to give a time.
Hey, guess what? The truth, you're still here, aren't you?
Yeah, and look, there's a little bit of strategy to having the live time before we go live. It allows the YouTube waiting room to populate so we can all have a great show off the top so we don't have to wait so much time at the beginning. We're going to have a great show today. This was going to be Tuesday's show.
Easton. It was. Yeah.
And it's Friday. And here we are. And
that's the thing about a mock draft. You can just put it on the shelf. Take it down when you need
it. That's right. Rooney's correct also. The show starts when it starts because we have to get all of our graphics ready, all of our different things organized. It's a crazy morning every morning here on A to Z Sports. So
listen, if we were beholden to a TV or a radio programming schedule, we would of course be on time. But we are beholden to nobody. That is the beauty of YouTube.
As I always say, I want it to be the best show when we start. I want us to be ready to rock, to look good, to feel good, to play good. And we're going to have a great show. So, all right. So we're going to have dueling mock drafts. We each did mock drafts earlier in the week. We're going to do this show on Tuesday. And then I think the Todd McShay, Intel, and Jeremiah Love popped up that day. So we decided to go with that. Then we had a Ruben Bain show. Then we had a Cornell Tate show. It's been like a lot of like player specific shows, which has been pretty interesting. And I've liked the fact that we've been able to do that because we didn't have a lot of Cornell Tate talk much throughout this draft process since like December. And then we got that with Cornell Tate's conversation yesterday. And here's our dueling mock draft where you will present a mock draft that's 7 rounds that you did on the website. I will present a mock draft that's 4 rounds that I did on the YouTube channel Monday, and then we will duel it out. And so I did see in the YouTube waiting room there was a Go Team Easton and a Go Team Austin. There was a couple different people already picking sides.
Let's go.
Now
factions will form.
Maybe they read your article and watched my video. I read your article on Tuesday, but I don't remember it. I all I know is I know what you did the first round.
Well, I didn't watch your video, so I have no idea what
I know
mock
that
draft is.
I know
told me what you did in the first round, and I remember that part, but I didn't watch the video.
Told you something that happened in the first round. I did not tell you the player that I picked.
That's true. That's true.
Yes. So we've got Nick Ewing pointing out the thumbnail that is Oklahoma Drill Austin versus Smug Easton.
We're making the same face. How are those different to you? You jerk. How are those different?
Oh, we can judge that. So I'll let you tell the people what they got to do, and then we can figure out how to describe our AI faces.
The heck is an Oklahoma Drill face? Get out of here. Good morning, everybody. Good morning to everyone besides that person, whoever that person was. Hope y'all are having a great start to your Friday. I know that I am looking forward to talking through a little mock draft on a Friday, and it's going to be a good time. We need you to like the show. It's all we need from you this morning. Hit that like button on Facebook and on YouTube. It is free. It's extremely helpful for us. We appreciate you doing that. Please do that right now. Thank you. Also, jump in the comments. We want to hear your thoughts on our mock drafts. Join a faction. Join Team Easton or Team Austin. Talk more about what the heck an Oklahoma Drill face is. I don't know. We want to hear from you this morning on Facebook.
Do you know what an Oklahoma Drill is?
Yeah, of course I know what an Oklahoma Drill is.
Okay, I'm just making sure.
I did not play football as a kid.
I'm just saying that because Oklahoma drills are probably no longer allowed in today's football.
I would imagine they don't get to do that anymore. Yeah, no.
Yeah.
And we were doing it like as peewee little itty bitty babies. I seriously don't.
Dude, did you do Bull in the Ring?
Yeah.
Okay, good. I'm glad that you're not too young.
No. We still. Bull in the Ring. I honestly might venture out to, because I still know some folks that work for the Brentwood Blaze here in town. I might venture out to a little summer camp to see like what are the drills like these days. How watered down have we gotten? I would hope not. But yeah, it's going to be a good time this morning. We'll talk about all the drills we did as Pee Wee football players if we want to. We'll get into all of it. Jump in the comments, like the show, and Austin, let's get it started.
The episode officially welcoming the A to Z Sports here live on a Friday. I'm Austin Stanley. He's Easton Freeze. We are Nashville's on-demand sports.network going live weekday mornings around 8:10 Central Time. We are powered, driven by Auto Pro Nashville, autopronashville.com. And we got to make sure that you guys hit that like button as well. Follow us on Instagram, TikTok, and Threads for more great Titans content. I'm going to drop this link in the chat. It is our Google preferred source link where you can follow A to Z Sports on Google, because whenever you're looking for Easton's work on A to Z Sports.com or the YouTube videos, if you haven't subscribed, you should do that. But Google, follow us there so you can search Titans mock drafts, Titans free agency, Titans roster, Titans cap space, Titans draft, Titans picks, and A to Z Sports content shows up first. So that goes a long way for us, as do our sponsors, because they help out us and they make it happen for you as well. Auto Pro Nashville, providing an assortment of multiple types of highline luxury vehicles at competitive prices. 2 locations, Brentwood and Murfreesboro. AutoProNashville.com. The Bone and Joint Institute, the region's destination for comprehensive orthopedic and sports medicine care. They're online at boneandjointtn.org. And Window Nation, take advantage of this spring sale. 50% off all window styles. And your estimate is always free at windownation.com. Now, Bobes says,
we are
Bobes Mythe says we're losing recipes.
Well, and Jake says they are in different variations. The drills, bull in the ring is not allowed, and I just googled bull in the ring football drill, and the first thing that comes up is a article headlined "Prohibited Athletic Activities." So I'd imagine we're not doing a whole lot of that anymore. Which, you know what, Oklahoma drill, I will be like, that's a little sissy if we're not doing that. Bull in the ring,
Oklahoma drill's valuable. Like that is legitimately valuable drill.
I can wrap my head around maybe that not being the wisest.
Bull in the ring is literally barbaric, and it's like it's the easiest move of when practice starts off sloppy and slow and nobody's locked in. All right, screw it, blow the whistle, bull in the ring, let's freaking go.
Right, like it's fun. Is it useful for practicing football?
Now now we did something, and then we will get to our dueling mock drafts. But we did in high school, we did a combo Oklahoma drill bull in the ring, but it was 2-on-2.
Oh, tag teaming it.
A lineman paired with a skill guy, and a ring created by the team, and a basically battle royale. I forget what we called it, but it was terrifying and badass and hype as you could possibly expect. A 2-on-2 bull in the ring lineman skill guy, nuts, just absolutely crazy. Because it was
again, how helpful is that to learning football? Maybe, honestly, maybe not.
Open field tackling, blocking in space, shedding blocks, juking and dodging tackling in space. Very valuable, actually. Maybe they're just also concussions.
I was about to say there are probably safer ways to practice each of those skills,
and maybe blindside blocks.
Right. maybe like borderline cheap shots.
Damage.
Yeah,
but also teammates standing there not paying attention get smacked because some guy gets thrown into it.
This is right, Nick. Builds character, kills brain cells.
Yeah,
that's the trade-off.
That's what it's all about. All right, so now let's get to our dueling mock drafts, and we will get to the. What started this was our faces, bull in the ring versus smug. I think these are our game faces. If we want to be specific,
I think it's AI slop is what I think it is.
I think it's hilarious. So I think bull in the ring time. You and I are going to step into the ring and we're going to go toe to toe with our mock draft. So Easton, I will let you begin. You have a 7-round mock draft that you did on A2Zsports.com. And so how we're going to do both of these is we're each going to present our mock drafts. Then collectively we'll say the best and the worst thing about said mock draft. Then we'll go to my mock draft, do the same thing. And then at the end, we will do the bull in the ring mock draft style and figure out who's going to survive and who will die, because that's how bull in the ring works. And then we'll do good news and we'll all leave happy. So Easton, it's your turn. Here we go. Your mock draft, sir.
So am I presenting the entire thing right now?
Yeah, the entire thing.
Okay. All right. Well, let's run it down then. Here's my mock draft. I'll throw it up on the screen. There we go. 7-round mock. In round 1, we're taking David Bailey off the edge. I'll just go player by player, and we'll talk a little bit about each. Feel free to stop me if at any point you have something to contribute. David Bailey at 4 is where I went. I have become obsessed, Austin, with what the Arizona Cardinals are up to. What are they cooking out there in the desert? And funny enough, I'm heading out to the desert tomorrow evening for the owners' meeting. So maybe I'll stop by the Cardinals facility and bang on the door and say, who are you picking? Because I need to know. what
Do you want to know? Do you want to know something? Do you want to know who Charles Davis at NFL.com mocked to the Cardinals this week, like yesterday?
Who did he mock?
I'm gonna pull your graphic off of it.
Oh,
Ty Simpson.
Let's go. Bring it. Right. That'd be awesome. By the way, that'd be awesome. Is it gonna happen? No, but it'd be awesome. I think that what they do at 3 entirely dictates what the. I don't want to say it dictates what the Titans do. I sure hope it doesn't, because that'd be a real sticky situation to be in, to be fully beholden to the team in front of you. Mm-hmm. But I honestly think it is impossible for us to get around the fact that the Cardinals can change the Titans' outcome based on whether or not they take a tackle or an edge. They could justify either. They're in a weird team-building phase of their cycle where, their quarterback of the future is not on the roster, one could easily imagine. It wouldn't be surprising if they are joining the March for Arch this year, and they are building for the future. And both of those tentpole perimeter players in the trenches, if you want to frame it that way, are guys that would make a lot of sense to build for a year from now. If they go offensive line, which again, they have built up their offensive line. At the moment, it's built basically to slot in a starting tackle and then be ready to rock and roll. So it would make a lot of sense for them to go with like Francis Mauigoa. And if they do that, David Bailey is, I think, likely to be on the board, because I think the Jets are going to take Arvell Reese. I think the Jets are going to take one of either Reese or Bailey, and I would guess Reese if I had to guess, but I'd be elated for them to take Bailey and for Reese to fall to the Titans at 4. But if I had to pick one player, Austin, that's at the top of the draft that may be there for the Titans, that makes the most sense for the Titans, I think it's David Bailey, just because of the way they've built the offensive line, the defensive line. They have filled out the starting and depth roles on the interior. They have filled out the starting and depth roles at that big end, defensive end position. Really, all that's left to slot in is that true wide speed rusher role, and that's what David Bailey is, right? That wicked first step is what he wins with. He's a guy that is going to line up wide 9 a lot and just not put his hand in the dirt and just get after the quarterback. And that's what the Titans are still missing on their defensive front. So I think it makes a lot of sense for them to go Bailey at 4. I know that everyone is clamoring for Love. I think Love is very much on the table. I don't think he's off the table by any means, but I remain steadfast. And this week, speaking of the owners' meetings, this weekend / start of next week will be a massive inflection point as to whether or not Easton changes his mind about what the Titans are going to do from a predictive standpoint. Mm-hmm. Like there's a very decent chance I come back from the desert and I go, people, I bring back news of reasons why I think they're going to go Love instead of Edge, and I've changed my mind after all this time. Or I might come back even further tripling and quadrupling down on them not taking a running back. But for now, I'm going to go with the Edge. Now, that's a lot of talking about the first round pick, but that's the first round pick. Anything else on the first round pick?
No. So Shane, I believe it was, said, hey, just popped in. Whose mock is this? So this is Easton's mock. Curtis just says, beat his ass, Austin. We will get to my mock. And look, all right, so back to your 7-round mock, and I think we can get through let's go day 2.
All right, day 2. We'll keep it moving here. At 35, we're taking Denzel Boston, who is a player that I am really high on. I wrote about him at AtoZSports.com this week. You can go and read that. I think that he's another guy that slots in just perfectly for where the Titans are in terms of their team building and what the Titans wide receiver room is currently lacking, which is a perimeter threat, a true X. That's what Denzel Boston is going to be. He is a red zone mismatch. He has some of the strongest hands I've ever seen in my time watching players in the draft. He is fantastic when it comes to winning at the catch point, turning 50-50 balls into 70-30 balls. He has a minuscule drop rate. He's just steady Eddie, man. And is he going to be a big-time separator in the NFL? No, he's not, but you don't have to win that way in the NFL. You can win with the things that he is best at, and I think that his game will translate to the NFL, and so I would love him at 35 if he falls there. In this mock, he did. In round 3, at pick 66, is the guy on your screen, Traden Stukes out of Arizona, the cornerback who the Titans, I forget if they either had a 30 visit with him this week or they are planning on having one, and it hasn't happened yet. I forget which.
Yeah.
He's on their books.
One of those two.
Yeah. So they're meeting with the guy, and they're interested in the guy, and I'm interested in the guy. And when I did this mock, Austin, it kind of hit me like a ton of bricks. I have struggled all draft season to figure out where I feel like they're likely to go at pick 66. And it's not like I feel like I've cracked the code or anything here. I think they could go in a number of different directions. But I still think cornerback is a sneaky, massive need for this team. I don't want to lose sight of the fact that they still have very little in the way of depth, and they have two expensive starters who I think are talented players, but we all know how free agency works. There's a decent chance that these guys are here a year or two, and then the Titans are moving on from them for either financial or playing ability reasons. So you need to get more long-term guys in here, and that's what Trayden Stukes would be for this team. He is 6'1", 190. He is wicked fast. 4.33 40-yard dash.
Long.
Impressive explosiveness, both in his testing and on tape. I think that he's going to be an early NFL starter, and everything I've heard about him off the field, by the way, is pretty fantastic. I think teams are really liking him as a guy. So if he's there at 66, I think that he'd be a home run pick for the Titans. Anything on day 2?
Nope. I mean,
right.
I will get to my, when I jump in, I'm favoriting some comments, positive and negative, for you. So we can refer to some of those when we ask our question.
All right, let's fly through filling out the depth chart with some day 3 picks. The first pick of day 3 at the very top of round 4, we're taking perhaps the most mocked to the Titans man, not in the first round, of any prospect in this draft. It's Logan Jones out of Iowa. That is because, 1, he's a good player. 2, he comes from what's the name of that award? The Joe Moore Award that they hand out in college to the best offensive line. Iowa won that last year. He was
Iowa won the offensive line award, but didn't he also win the
yes,
he
Remington? Totally did, and I'm slighting him there. I don't remember the name of that award, but
Remington.
Yes. Okay, yes. So he
won Remington Trophy.
Yes, he won the best center award on the best offensive line award-winning offensive line. So, pretty accomplished dude. He's also one of 4 guys in this draft. Like, you can count on one hand the number of starting caliber center prospects that are in this draft. And that's why I still am not positive that he'll be available at the top of day 3, to be honest with you. I know that every mock in the world has him there. A lot of big boards have him in the 110s, 120s. And I get that from a pure talent evaluation in a vacuum and positional value standpoint. But from a supply and demand standpoint, if there are only 4 of these guys, and there are teams out there that we know need starting center, I wouldn't be surprised if supply and demand push them up the board some, and the Titans are maybe considering him in round 3 or considering a trade up to make sure they secure him. Either way, he is a guy that, and again, I've talked about this week, Austin. People ask me, like, what's the big focus in the draft? Is it center or is it guard? And my answer hinges largely on internal information that we can't possibly know right now. Specifically, what is the plan with Kevin Zeitler? Or maybe rather I should say, what is the understanding with Kevin Zeitler? Because the Titans organization has spoken to him and his agent. They know what the deal is. At this point, a veteran like him, I don't expect him to sign with the Titans or any team until after the draft. He wants to see like where teams go in the draft and what his competition is going to be like, what his opportunity is going to be like, and then of course the money. And so if they have an understanding that like we feel good about him coming back, then I think that they'll prioritize center in the draft. If they don't, they may very well prioritize guard, because at least at center you have Jackson Slater and Austin Sloatman, who you have slotted in to compete for that role. Do you feel awesome about it? I know that I don't, but they may feel decent about it. And at guard, what's the plan? Right. I don't know. You need to go get one. So Logan Jones there, and then I kind of hedged my bet with Bo Stevens, his teammate, at 142. Just double down. You go shopping in the Iowa O-line section and get the 2-for-1 special. Why not? He's a big boy, above average size, above average physicality. I think that he'd be a strong add to the roster, and bringing those guys both in would be a nice little 1-2 punch. The last 3 picks, or last 4 rather, I'll kind of fly through here. Hezekiah Mass is another guy that I have targeted a lot in mock drafts on day 3. I like him a lot. Out of Cal, the cornerback, double down on cornerback. We all know that in the NFL, no matter what, you're probably going to have to tuck into your cornerback 4 and 5. And sometimes Titans fans can attest your cornerback 6 and 7 before the year is over, because that's a position that goes through triage and you need dudes. And Hezekiah Mass is a guy that I think that they would like to add. I like his profile a lot. 6'1", 180. He's on the leaner side, but he is somebody that I think is just a sound player. I like what I see on tape. John Michael Gillenborg, tight end out of Wyoming, is who I took in round 6 at pick 184. He is a guy
Cowboy.
Yeah, he's a cowboy. He is a guy that is not a one-for-one replacement of Chig. I don't want to make it seem like they're exactly the same player. If you look at them, they certainly don't look alike. But the Titans moved on from Chig in free agency. They got priced out of his market because the future of their tight end room is Gunnar Helm, because he has that dual blocking and receiving prowess that he brings to the table. He's a do-it-all, three-down tight end. Chig it is and was really a receiving threat only, a seam-stretching guy who's useful and a lot of fun. Like, there's value to that. But I think you want that guy on a discount, and that's what John Michael Gillenborg would be. He's tall and lean at 6'5", 251, high-end explosiveness on tape and in his testing. And he's a guy that does his tape show a lot of blocking prowess? No. Does it show a lot of route versatility prowess? No. But what it does show is that this boy can stretch a seam. He can stretch a seam. He can be a threat in the slot, getting uphill in a hurry, and that's what the Titans get here in round 6 on the cheap. Xavier Harris, defensive tackle out of Ole Miss in round 6. This was honestly just a value add. I see a lot of boards have him graded as like a round 4, round 5 prospect. 6'8", almost, just shy of 6'8", 6'7", and like 5'8".
6'8's fine. Almost 6'8".
So almost 6'8", 6'8" with his cleats on, 330 pounds, above average athleticism. And he's got speed to boot for a guy at that size. And we know that Mike Borgonzi wants to bolster his trenches by all means. And then finally, we'll bolster the trenches one more time with a guy that, if I had to pick the fakest pick on this board, Austin, in terms of like, ain't no way you're getting this dude here, it's this one. But he was there on my board, so screw it. Travis Burke, tackle out of Memphis at pick 225. If you've been paying attention to like draft Twitter recently, you know that the NFL, there's like, I saw Daniel Jeremiah tweeting about this guy the other day. There is some buzz percolating amongst the league when it comes to Travis Burke. He's really 6'8", 325-pound, big fella, big tackle out of Memphis. I think the league loves his traits. He's a guy the Titans had in on a 30 visit, so they're clearly interested in him. Maybe he's not a round 7 pick. Maybe he's their round 4 or 5 pick. Who knows? But again, bolstering the trenches. So there we go. I ended up coming out with one edge player, one receiver, 2 cornerbacks, 2 interior offensive linemen, teammates, a tackle, a tight end, and a defensive tackle. We're all over the place.
Yep. All right. So best and worst thing about Easton's mock. Rob just says Easton's first 4 are horrible. So like, I will say you do have positive feedback from this. So what is the best? I'm not asking for a grade. Jordan just says C-. Best and worst thing about Easton's mock draft right there. Right. I have my mock draft coming up, and then we will put them in the Bull in the Ring exercise and see what happens. So we'll get to your comments and my thoughts more on the best and worst part of Easton's mock, and maybe we'll ask Easton. We'll do like a post mock press conference, like, what would you change? But first, let me tell you guys about our great title sponsor. That is Auto Pro Nashville. We are driven every morning by Auto Pro Nashville. They have 2 locations in Brentwood and Murfreesboro. If you're looking for that high-end vehicle at a price that you're like, there's no way that I'm going to get this car at this price, Auto Pro Nashville's got it. Because why? Off lease. What does off lease mean? It means somebody wanted this car for like 12, 24, 36 months, and they knew they were giving it back. And so they like barely did anything with it. They like didn't touch it. Like, don't touch my car, right? Don't touch my drum set type of thing. Like where it's got barely any miles on it. Not a scratch on this thing. It's as blessed. It's the least used it's ever going to be, where that price goes down and you say, yes, perfect. Let me have that right there. And Auto Pro Nashville and Hans and his team at their locations in Brentwood and Murfreesboro will help you find whatever the car is for your situation, your dreams, what you're looking for around the country. They'll go find it for you. The concierge service is the top-notch customer service in the area. So check them out online, autopronashville.com for their inventory, autopronashville.com.
Make sure we've liked the show. We appreciate those likes, and then jump in the comments. Want to hear your questions or your thoughts in my post mock press conference.
Yes. So I'll go through the starred comments that I saw from yours. So Shane says, Bailey in Boston, first and second round, make this draft hard to top for me. So there's a good one from Shane. Michael says, sorry, Easton, I'm not a fan of this mock draft at all.
You're dead to me, Michael.
Yes. And so I see you're continuing to favorite some comments as well. Boston Diamond just says, Team Easton forever. And this one, Jake says, I hate Easton's draft already. Bailey is a speed rush specialist like Tim Williams from Bam about 10 years ago. And I'm out on Boston.
Yeah, listen, those first two picks are two players that I'm not sure I understand it, but they sure have some mixed reviews from the public.
Yeah, there are some haters on that. Randy says, Austin, do you think this is what you would do, or what do you think the Titans should do? So, first of all, this is Easton's mock draft. And this is I'm playing the board with the Titans' needs in mind. And I think that's kind of how you're doing it as well, right? It's like you have the Titans' needs, you're looking at the value and how the board can fall and all that. Ray School says, no free safety, draft a 4th string cornerback in round 3, double dip at cornerback.
Hang on. Traden Stukes, 4th string cornerback is crazy. Did we just hate Traden Stukes?
Well, I think he's just saying like your 4th is like the 4th cornerback is what he's saying.
Who's 3rd on this team?
I'm not.
I think Traden
Stukes would be 3rd right now.
Right. It's Ray School. Are we writing Josh Williams in pen as your cornerback?
Yeah, because if you think, not. I mean, they signed Josh Williams to a 2-year, $10 million contract. Guys,
I like Josh. He also played 16 snaps last year.
Yeah. Defensive snaps, 16. He is a special team. He was the Chiefs' lead gunner.
He skipped a year of football last year, guys.
Of defense. He played special teams a lot, but yeah.
Okay, but
so Traden Stukes is the cornerback 3. He is maybe your nickel because Arizona used him as a safety. He's
Would
a
he be your starter
back.
On day 1 of camp? Probably not. They do the whole veteran dance thing. But if you made me, I'd bet anything that by your bye week, he's clearly a starting cornerback on the team.
Yeah. The comment continues. So no free safety drafted. The Titans could exit the draft and not.
This is clearly an opinion based on really believing that Kevin Winston is a box safety, which is not a crazy opinion.
No, this is the first time I've ever seen somebody complain about there not being a free safety in a mock draft for the Titans.
There is a small contingent of people out there that are like, the Titans don't have enough safety help, which I agree they need more, especially if Kevin can't play as a too high guy. I think that he can, but if you can't, you need another guy.
Yeah. Then we've got he continues, didn't address linebacker, which you did not. No inside backer.
And I full disclosure, from a press conference standpoint, I was trying to. The board just was kind of cooking me on that. Yeah.
Least favorite X receiver in the 2nd round, which is Denzel Boston.
Least favorite. This guy likes Elijah Surratt better than Denzel Boston, apparently, which is
maybe
a heck of a take.
So, question from Ray School: will trades be allowed in these mocks? I made a trade. They better be allowed because he did it. I did it. That's right. All right. So do you see some other comments that you wanted to get to?
Yeah, a couple other. Max says, "I love Boston. Don't think he'll be there at 35."
Okay, so
I'm with Max on this.
So here's Daniel asked, "Can you throw his mock back up there?"
For sure.
Popped in a little late. So here's Easton's 7-round mock. I have a 4-round mock that we're going to get to later on, but you pick straight through with no trades, and you've got David Bailey, Denzel Boston, Traden Stukes, Logan Jones on the top 4 rounds. Bo Stevens and Hezekiah Masses, cornerback at Cal. So go ahead with what you've got there.
Well, Roger says best thing is that Easton picks fill a lot of needs. I like it, and that was the thing that I was most pleased about when I finished this. Austin was that I felt like the board fell really well to. I mean, again, like you're not going to hit on every single one of these, but you are setting yourself up to in your first 5 picks. Have 5 starters at 5 big positions of need right now. Like, plug in that speed rush edge, plug in that X receiver, plug in that 3rd cornerback, plug in that starting center of the future, plug in that starting right guard of the future. Are they all going to hit? There's just no way, statistically speaking. But you have set yourself up to fill some big time needs.
Right. Andre says a 4-rounder, Austin. Come on, half-assing the mock draft. Come on. No, I did this. I went
by default, I think. Is that how that works?
No, I was doing a video about it. And on the video, doing a video about live mocks, I think it's a better exercise to talk through the 4-round thing. Rather
People
than
don't want to hear about the 7-rounders.
Picking, yeah. So that, you can do different versions of it. That's the way I did it. And we actually did our mocks individually before we realized we were going to do a dual show on this to compare them. So, there's different platforms, different reasons for it.
I think it's Austin's turn.
Is it my turn?
Anything else?
I need to give my thoughts on it. Like,
excuse me.
Yeah,
go ahead.
So I think the best thing about this draft is I like the direction a lot in the 3rd and 4th round.
Okay.
Traden Stukes is somebody that I continue to mock quite a bit too. Logan Jones obviously has been a mock draft season favorite to the Titans at 101. And spoiler alert, I've got Logan Jones Titans at 101. So,
oh, you like the one that you also made?
Yeah.
Crazy
so
how that works.
So we do have that one is the exact same at 101. So those are the best things about it. I think the thing the worst thing about it, I don't know if it's the worst thing. Like David Bailey, I'm such a Jeremiah Love opportunistic guy here that I really, and spoiler, I do not have the Titans taking Jeremiah Love in my mock draft. So, but
do you pass on the opportunity to take Jeremiah Love?
Yeah.
Oh, so he's there on the board.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, it's kind of hard for you to give me a hard time for not taking him.
I'm not giving you a hard time because, like, David Bailey, what did I say Tuesday? I think Tuesday was the last time we did a show where you asked me, like, what percentage chance do I think the Titans draft Jeremiah Love? And I said 35%. And then you said, what about David Bailey? I said 35%. I truly think it's between those two. They're pretty even as, like, the favorites.
Okay.
Then I have, Bain, Reese, Styles, 1% for insert here.
Mm-hmm.
So, Denzel Boston is not my favorite, and I don't know what your board was, but I think we all know that I had in my ranking of 10 players that could be options for 35. I had Denzel Boston 9th out of 10th, just because I think he's a better version of Elikai Manor. And I think you like Elikai Manor. I know that. You obviously like Denzel Boston way more than I think a lot of people, which is fine. I just think I'm looking for something else. I want a different flavor. It's basically, you've got like in your ice cream, you've got like a wide receiver ice cream desk, right? You've got your counter there with 7 wide receivers for the Titans. You've got like 2 types of the same. And, there's less variety.
In Alec and Denzel, is that what you're saying?
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, I mean, like one's better than the other.
So I don't agree with this. I think if we are looking at the Titans wide receiver room, the archetypal role that they are most in need of, to me, is clearly Denzel Boston's archetype. So I think it's the opposite. I don't think you're being redundant. I think this is the least redundant. I think this is the least redundant type of receiver you can add to this room. Like, are we forgetting that you have a big slot guy in Shim? You have a speed guy in Ridley. You have a true slot guy in Wandale.
I guess I am not. Chim is not affecting my wide receiver needs at all because I think he is a special teamer and a gadget wide receiver at this point. Elikai Manor's got more upside as a wide receiver and a higher floor as a wide receiver, I think. And I just feel like. What would you laugh at?
This is my favorite comment. Easton made a mock like he doesn't know the team.
No, yeah, right.
Clearly, I'm just drafting out of my butt with this one. There's no.
All right. So I guess the answer is like if I'm going to pick something that I like the least, then it's Denzel Boston at 35.
Okay.
But I also don't know the receivers that were there at 30. Do you, off the top of your head, you kind of remember who was available?
All of the first roundy guys were gone. Concepcion was definitely gone. You still had Captain Tennessee on the board, but
Brazel, Bell, Jeremy
Bell was
Bernard,
definitely still there.
Kind of those guys.
Boston was of the guys we're thinking might be first rounders. Boston was the only maybe first rounder still on the board.
I just realized there's a lot of B last names for wide receivers. Boston, Bell, Brazel, Bernard, Branch.
Wow. Yeah, you're not kidding.
Anybody else missing something?
I'm sure.
We're missing any Bs? Wide receivers. But and those are kind of all right there in the same area. So I think if I had that same group, Jeremy Bernard is somebody that I'm kind of interested in.
I don't dislike Jeremy Bernard, but if you take Bernard over Denzel Boston, I'll throw something clean through my TV.
Okay, fair enough. All right, so my mock. Time for mine. So I got a 4-round mock. I made a trade. I had Jeremiah Love staring me in the face, and the team said, "How about this trade offer?"
Austin officially out on Jeremiah Love.
No, I will tell you this.
Your actions speak volumes.
And if you watched my video on Monday, I said this up front. I did a live mock draft on a video. I was like, I have no plan. I'm not coming in here trying to prove a point. I'm not trying to come in here and say, I'm going to go this direction. I am just going to see what the hell happens. Mm-hmm. I got a trade offer that I was like, oh my God, that's interesting. And I've never been in this situation before. So I took it to find out how I would like it. Right. So that is my preface to my mock draft. And I didn't like dislike it at all. I think it created a different perspective, something that I don't think we have talked about once in this situation. So, Easton, I will present my mock draft to everybody, but first tell me about the Bone and Joint Institute.
The Bone and Joint Institute is the region's destination for comprehensive orthopedics and sports medicine. Check them out today in my neck of the woods, down here just off of I-65 in the Franklin area. They have over a dozen specialists in the building who will help you through any type of injury with a state-of-the-art rehab facility on campus to help you with your recovery. They do it all under one roof for your convenience, from clinic to testing to imaging to surgery and rehab. Schedule an appointment today by going to boneandjointtn.org.
Shout out to our friends and title sponsor at Auto Pro Nashville, driven by Auto Pro Nashville every morning. If you're looking for that high-end vehicle that's off lease price, which means it's a great price for you and it's barely even used, and it's that car of your dreams, Hans and his team will go get it for you. Brentwood, Murfreesboro, online, autopronashville.com. Okay, are we ready?
We did forget one, Deion Burks.
Deion. Well, he's kind of like slightly further down.
Yeah, but like how many, just all the receiver B names.
I mean,
add them in there. Throw them in there.
Let's see.
I know
there's more. Boston, Bell, Brazel, Bernard, Branch, Burks, another Bell.
Oh, that's
Barry
right.
And Brown. That does it. That's probably all the draftable receivers.
So what is that, like 8, 9?
Sure.
It's a lot.
Sounds right. All right, are you ready?
Let's see it.
I was offered a trade by the Miami Dolphins to move up to 4 and get 11. Now, they offered a 2027 first round pick, which was not going. That's not the Dolphins would be dumb. That is Arch Manning, right? That is their Arch Manning, Dante Moore, insert quarterback here. So what I did,
I don't have to.
Yeah, what I did is I was like, okay, well, you know what? I don't even want to accept that trade anyway because I don't get to play with the return, right? It's a pick that I don't get to use. So I did a counter, and I would get more than what I got in this from this trade. 11 to 4, I got 2 third-round picks. Live on the video, it was the quickest way for me to not waste too much time. So I got 2 third-round picks from the Dolphins, and I moved back to 11. So my 4-round mock draft, if we are ready. Here we go. All right.
Let's see it.
Here it is.
Man, chat, whoever's in charge of AI, take away Austin's privileges.
What are you talking about?
You're out of control. We've broken contain on your AI generation.
I don't know what you're saying.
Okay.
So
I already know the worst thing about this mock, and it's not on the mock portion.
What are you talking about? I think I just added a picture of like how I felt about this exercise. I don't really know. So I took Mansour Delane at 11, and it was, he's the best corner in the draft. Corner is a need. And the way this played out, every defensive player that we've been talking about was gone. Carnell Tate was gone. It was like, I don't have it off the top of my head, but Bain, Bailey, Love, Reese, Styles, Downs, Tate. That was like the entire top 10. And so at 11, I was like, you know what? Mansour Delane is a badass. And this was Monday. He had just run his 4.38 40 at LSU Pro Day. So I was like, you know what? Let's try this. Let's do this. So I took Mansour Delane, the best corner in the draft, at 11. He got to 35th overall. And on my board, I followed my own rules, right? I still have, this is my top, my 10 ranking of these players for 35th overall. Mm-hmm. Omar Cooper was gone. Colton Hood was gone. Casey Concepcion was gone. So I took Zion Young, the edge rusher out of Missouri, at 35. I continued, and here was my in the moment regret. I took Elijah Surratt at 66, and then instantly I was like, I should have done Ted Hurst. So I took Elijah Surratt, but I think you can, whoever you like better, Surratt or Ted Hurst, just pretend that's who that name is. Mm-hmm. Then I got Kyle Lewis linebacker out of Pitt there at 75. Logan Jones actually took a little earlier at 87th overall at the Iowa Center. One of my third round picks I got from the Dolphins. And then Bryce Lance, wide receiver, North Dakota State at 101, because I was not, Surratt is kind of like, all right, whatever. But I got 2 receivers in this. So that is my 4-round mock draft that I did on Monday. And I think if the Dolphins move from 11 to 4, the Titans are going to get more than 2/3.
Way more.
But I was in the moment of trying to be as brief as possible on a recording video. I was like, I just need to do something that they're going to accept. Right.
Sure.
And so that's what was accepted. It was the 3rd time that I tried that trade. I got denied because the computer doesn't understand trade up value in this mock draft. So, which we're trying to work on something for that. So that is my mock draft. So you freaking hate this.
No, that reaction is not my reaction. That reaction is reflective of how the chat is treating you. It's kind of ugly out here, Austin. It's kind of ugly. Let me fly through these. It's not all bad. It's not all bad, but I was hunting for positive comments, and there was a deluge of negative ones. Oh wait, these are old. Hang on, where did we start? The face is priceless. There's no doubt. Austin looks scared and confused. A scared man.
I was curious.
You lose because of the picture.
What did I ask? What was my
what was your description for that face?
My description was curious, nervous.
Curious, nervous. Easton wins already. Titans won't be able to trade it for. Now, again, not really the point of this, but I am curious. What do you think the likelihood is the Titans actually get a trade offer for the 4th pick?
Low.
Okay. Like minuscule.
I mean, I don't know what
on a scale of 1 to 10, how surprised would you be if they traded out of that pick?
I would be 1 to 10. 10 being like
10 being it's the most shocking thing you've ever seen on draft night in your whole life.
Like 8.5.
Okay. Yeah. That checks out. That face perfectly matches the mock, says Andre.
And thank you. That was the goal. And so the Dolphins are a team that should not trade because they need as many swings as they possibly can.
Yeah, they're not gonna.
But they do have a million draft picks that they
Did you see? They do, but did you see? I'm guesstimating the numbers, but I saw somebody tweet like the Dolphins lead the league in players currently on veteran minimum contracts with 37. The next closest team is at like 29.
Right.
So they desperately need guys that aren't just bodies scrubs out there.
Yeah.
And you can get a lot of those in the 3rd round. So having 4 third-round picks this year is actually kind of.
So let me continue to for my like post mock press conference kind of.
By
deal.
all means.
So
we got some more comments to get to eventually.
And JT and I talked about this yesterday in a YouTube video, so you can go check that out for all of this. Mm-hmm. We've talked about this before. This draft, the perfect trade back spot in this draft is 35.
For sure.
Because last year, the Titans traded 35th away to Seattle for 52 and 82, where they got Femi and Winston. This draft, and I talked to an NFL scout about this late last week, after like picks 15 through 75, those players are kind of like who knows? It's like a ping pong ball lottery. You don't know how they're going to go. Mm-hmm. So there's going to be a run on wide receivers, edge, corner, interior lineman, and linebacker, right? And so if my thought here is if you can get 4 picks, which I got 4 picks on day 2 because of this. I got the best corner in the draft and 4 picks on day 2. And you're going to be able to survive a run at any of those positions that you're looking at.
Mm-hmm. Back to the comments.
Say what?
Back to the comments.
Back to the comments. And people, I do think if you look at this, mm-hmm. you've got Mansour Delane, beast. Now you're talking about upgrading your worst corner on the field is who? If you roll up there in your nickel package and you've got Mansour Delane maybe playing the slot, maybe Alontae Taylor does, and then you've got Cordell Flott. Who is the worst corner of those guys? You could argue not Mansour Delane.
No, it wouldn't be Mansour Delane.
Right?
I would feel pretty strongly about that.
Your worst corner of those three might be the highest paid one in Alontae Taylor.
The one thing I'll ask about Delane, and Bustin mentioned this, and I wasn't sure what the answer was. He said he'd rather have Lemon if he's there. Was Makai Lemon on the board at 11?
Yes.
Okay. I think that's an interesting conversation.
He kind of gives me the creeps.
Sure. All right, let's keep going. People's reaction, and then I'll react, because my reaction is not nearly as negative as these people's, but we are a show of people, so let's hear them out.
Cap says, why are we disrespecting Marcus Harris? We're not. We're treating him like a 6th-round pick. That's what Marcus Harris is. He's fine. He's good. You need him. He's just you're treating him like he's a 6th-round pick going into his second year.
Titans Kyle says the worst thing is the whole thing, so he does not like it. Boston Diamond accuses you of the same thing you were talking about with Boston. Surratt, we already have Surratt. His name is Alakai Manor.
I know. And if you go back and watch it on Monday, I'm like, why didn't I do Ted Hurst?
I don't want to be like a mega hater or anything, but like, and I told you this already. I'll go ahead and say my least favorite thing about the mock, and I know that you wish you hadn't done it, is easily Elijah Surratt at 66.
If that was Ted Hurst, how would you feel?
Way better.
Yeah.
Way better.
Yeah.
I don't want to talk about Elijah Surratt unless we're in picks that are triple digits.
And same. And I was just like, I just didn't scroll down far enough and remember that Ted Hurst was there.
That is tough. Big says, wow, I did not expect to hate this draft more than Easton. So Big hates both of our mocks, but he hates yours more. Mr. Clean gave you a better grade than I got in terms of letter grades, B-. Let's see. What else? Rice School. Look, I'm out on any mock that has the Titans taking a cornerback in the first 3 rounds, which is interesting. I somehow hate this draft more than Easton. So again, hater of our drafts. Solid draft, says Steven. Ryan, our boy Ryan Roberts, says Easton wins. A definitive, and I think that makes me the winner, if we're being honest. Christopher O says, awful. Yuck from Donnie. Tall Texas said, Austin, this isn't a prank show. Reveal the real mock, which is awesome. Austin, you disappointed me with this. Now, Jake with a positive comment. With this draft, the defense could easily be top 5, which isn't a crazy thing, by the way. You've added a stud cornerback. You've added help on the edge. The defense.
Kyle Lewis.
Yeah, I forgot about Kyle Lewis. Yes, of course. That picture looks like you pooped your pants, says Vanessa.
Oh, you should. Oh, ask JT if JT is lurking. I made a curious, nervous Easton face too. And
you did?
My exact reaction was Vanessa's comment.
I'm not sure I saw this. I don't like that.
You have not seen it because it's that bad.
Kenneth says, great pick, Austin. Bustar says, I love Logan Jones, but Austin just did a J-Rob draft. Rob says, not as bad as Easton's, but not trading down. Corey, hater, it's a tie, equally bad. Christopher gave you a thumbs down in every color of the rainbow, a thumbs down possible. And this draft would set the Titans back. People don't love it. Let me give my thoughts, Austin. I don't hate it like people hate it. I like mine better, but I don't. When I look at the talent added, if I kind of like block out one line that says Elijah Surratt and look at the rest of it,
just make it Ted Hurst. Just make it Ted Hurst.
Sure, and
that's literally what I meant
like
to do.
Ted Hurst. I don't think he's some knockout pick necessarily at 66. I think that's appropriate value. He's somebody. Let me put it this way: Ted Hurst is a tantalizing player from a traits standpoint and like raw talent standpoint, but he has to be developed in the NFL, and he can be. And I think the Titans have a good staff, but I don't have any rock solid reason to be like the Titans are a wide receiver like development factory. Like I would need to see it. But so I would like him at 66 for sure. I think Zion Young is a guy that you certainly are higher on than I am. I don't love him at 35, to be honest with you. I think it's a fine pick. I do wonder how he breaks into the rotation in terms of his role in a really crowded room, because he's not going to be that speed wide 9 guy. Not to say that prohibits him from being drafted by any means, but I do wonder how big of an impact he's going to have in a really crowded room. Kyle Lewis, I like a lot. He's another guy that is, it seems like every fan base's favorite late day 2, early day 3 ad to be a surprisingly capable coverage linebacker at that stage in the draft. He's somebody that I think would be an impact player for the Titans. Obviously, we agree on Logan Jones, and I don't dislike a Bryce Lance swing at all on day 3. So my least favorite thing is the Surratt pick. If we're switching Surratt with Hurst, then my least favorite thing becomes the Zion Young pick. My favorite thing. Put it back up there one more time. My favorite thing, I mean, if we're accepting the premise of there being a trade to be made, then I think my favorite thing is Mansour Delane at 11, just because he rules. I don't value cornerback that highly in general. People know like my general stance on that. The exception is for like true top 5, top 3% guys. Like I do think the like Pat Surtains of the world are like that. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And I think Mansour Delane is that caliber of player. And so if you get him at outside of the top 10, 2 thumbs up for me, man.
Yeah.
Those are my thoughts.
So I'm just going to play this on Zion Young. I played this on Wednesday's show when we talked about Ruben Bain, but NFL Stock Exchange talking about Zion Young going much higher than I had him go at 35.
But Zion Young is, in my opinion, one of the best edge players in this draft. He's elite against the run. He got so much better rushing the passer this year. He's got power. He's got inside counters. He plays 120%. It feels like every single play. He's tough. He's a 3-down edge defender. I love this for the Bears. I come back to this pick, honestly, quite often.
I'm fully with you on this, Connor. Everything you just said, I'm like in sync with you. As a Packers fan, Zion Young is like the guy I do not want to see the Bears get. I think he fits them perfectly. This is like exactly the range I have him. He would come, like he'd be my next edge off the board. So like saw that similarly.
So I think the point of that being is that there's 2 guys out there that do massive draft YouTube shows.
Mm-hmm.
And 2 of the 3, and Trevor didn't even talk there, so I don't even know Trevor's opinions on that. But the other 2 guys are like, yeah, Zion Young, 25, great pick. And I think that's my point on for the Titans day 2. If you can get 3 day 2 picks, or I had 4 in this, I think that's a pretty good haul to get some players that are going to really help your football team.
Zooming out, I do think Mr. Clean nails the biggest downside here is that this draft does very little for the offense. And after a free agency that was defense heavy, you go draft defense heavy. On offense, you are relying on a lot of guys that are already here stepping up in a big way. And if it doesn't go super well, the revisionist history, or not even revision, the hindsight is going to be you committed the cardinal sin of not supporting your rookie or your young franchise quarterback.
Well, the cardinal sin, but Todd McShay has been on this thing for a while. He's done like a research project where he's like, whenever a team finds their quarterback, the next draft is defense heavy.
Okay.
And he goes back to,
I mean, I'm generally with you on this. Like, I do hate when fans are like, "Well, you bolstered the defense, you didn't help the quarterback." Like a defense doesn't help the quarterback. I saw a graphic the other day of like showing how many snaps each team played last year with a lead. Or excuse me, how many offensive snaps they played with a lead, and the Titans were obviously very low on that list. And I was like, man, I would love to see Cam Ward not play from behind every single minute of the day. That'd be cool. Mm-hmm. And the defense obviously is going to help that.
Yeah, and so like McShay was bringing up, like, I don't remember the exact team specific. I know the Chiefs were one with Mahomes because McShay asked Borgonzi about it at the combine, and Borgonzi's answer was like, it wasn't intentional. I think it just kind of happened. And now that was a different Chiefs team because they had a better roster than most teams. But the thought being, like, when you find your franchise quarterback and you know it's a franchise quarterback, then that quarterback can make up for some of the deficiencies in the offense because they're a franchise guy. So go get a defense to where you need to prop that up. And now you're kind of rising both sides together. So that's just the philosophy. And like, I went into this mock on Monday. And again, I was doing this live on a video recording where I was trying to make 0 edits on this video for the sake of time. And so that's what happened. And, you know, somebody said in the YouTube comments, like, I hated this thing, but it was entertaining. And then somebody else commented on it and said, wow, I kind of get how hard this could feel in real time if you're a GM, because things are flying, the board's moving and all this. And look, I didn't love it at the end of the day. It wasn't my favorite mock draft that I've done, but I think if the Titans get 6 players in the top 101, and I count Delane, Young, Lewis, and Jones as significant foundational pieces for the next 4 years. And then if one of the 2 receivers hits to go along with what you have and who you brought in, then I think it's a really, really solid building block class.
Fair enough.
For what this draft offers. All right, so the chat has asked for something.
Oh.
I will put up a YouTube poll about who wins this mock draft duel, Austin or Easton. We'll do that here in a second. But first, tell everybody about Window Nation.
Window Nation. Austin was so frustrated with Twitter this morning, he almost threw something clean through his window. And if he had done that, he was going to have to call Window Nation back.
No, it would have just not broken. Whatever I threw would have broken.
Great point. It would have shattered on the
My window. I have the Chuck Norris of windows.
Interesting timing on that comparison, but generally I understand what you're saying. It's a great time of year to replace your windows with our friends at Window Nation. They are running a 50% off of all Windows styles sale right now. So you can get all of the windows in your house replaced for half the price of replacing your windows. It's that simple. You also could get 0% interest financing for up to 5 years, which is a really freaking long time. Schedule a fast and free estimate with our friends now at Window Nation by calling 866-90Nation or going to windownation.com. Again, spring is here. It's the perfect time to open your windows. And then when you realize that they're like crusted shut because they're old and they've been painted over, they're the original building grade windows, you say, knock those out. Let's get ones that do open and close smoothly and do look way better. They increase the value of your home. There's no reason not to call our friends at Window Nation today for that fast and free estimate. No risk. Just have a chat. See what they could offer for you. I promise you'll come away impressed. WindowNation.com.
Speaking of windows, how about imagine yourself on the spring Nashville weather, rolling down the street, windows down in your luxury vehicle from Auto Pro Nashville, Brentwood, Murfreesboro, AutoProNashville.com. Gently used luxury high-end vehicles for the most competitive off-lease price you can think of online at AutoProNashville.com. So I did put up the YouTube poll. If you have not yet, please like the show on Facebook and YouTube. That goes a long way for us. Like the show, subscribe to our channel, please, and thank you. So I put the poll up. There are some people asking us to do a live mock right now and let the chat run it.
Sure, why not?
You want to?
I got no reason to say no.
Okay. So
yes, Steven, that's what I was referring to, but it's all
right. What were you referring to?
The whole Chuck Norris thing, but we can continue.
But I was we
know tribute. What you were doing. It's just
I was paying tribute, guys. You weirdos.
It's not weird. It's just like, anyways. Let's do a live mock. We got the we got a simulator.
I'm working on it. We 4 rounds because that's how things go.
So do we go with what the chat's consensus is, or do we go with the first comment we see? I think we should do an anecdotal consensus.
It can't be the first comment. I think it's just the first time we can pick up a trend on the spot.
Yeah. All
okay. Right. So if you could, I got
no trades, one time, no restarts.
We can restart. Okay, no restarts because apparently Ty Simpson's gonna go 3 according to Charles Davis. So no restarts even if he does.
Nope.
Right.
That's right.
All right.
Unless Fernando Mendoza is there at 4, no restarts.
No restarts at all. So I'm trying to share my screen. Here we go. All right. We're gonna try to go fast as well.
Yep, so be quick on the trigger with your comments, folks.
Yeah. All right. So here we go. Starting this draft, baby. All right. Bang. Okay. Reese and Bailey gone.
Tough spot. I mean, people are just going to take Love, right?
Yeah.
And I'm just saying, like, Reese Bailey going down, it's tough if the Titans aren't all in on Love. Love. I mean, it's going to be Love. Just go ahead and do Love. There's no way.
I do see some. I do see a tape, but Jeremiah
Sonny Styles. It's being drowned out by Jeremiah Love.
All right.
Now Jeremiah the real question.
Bang. Here we go at 35.
Where do we move from here? All right.
35 overall.
Let's take a peek at the top receivers, top edge players on the board. Why not? So all the possible first round guys receiver went off the board for the most part. You've got some intriguing edge options in TJ Parker and R. Mason Thomas and your boy Zion Young. Maybe the Brazzle Hive is in here. In the chat, I am seeing R. Mason. I'm seeing Edge, Zion, R. Mason or Bell, Chris Brazzle. We're kind of all over the board here. Zion Young.
See a Parker. It looks like Edge is the popular.
It is. So we're gonna go edge, chat. Give us your edge choice. Give us your edge choice between Parker, Thomas.
It looks
Young.
like it's Thomas or Young.
I'm surprised no one's throwing out Malachi Lawrence, which is interesting.
He's a little lower on this. I think it's fairly split
between R. Mason and Zion. Yeah, it's really split. Let's see if it continues to Zion. I think people. It's funny. The chat wanted to do their own, and now they're just picking the guy that you just picked. But Zion, it is. All right, chat. We've got an edge.
I'm selling everybody on Zion Young so hard. All right, so now back to all. All right,
we've got interior offensive line options.
Dunker, cornerback Keontae Scott, who had a 44-inch vertical jump.
And apparently ran the fastest 40 this side of the Mississippi.
Yeah, he ran a 3.940.
Yeah.
We're not trading back.
We're not trading.
Yeah.
Josiah Trotter is talk about pedigree. Hello.
We're seeing a Stooks. Let's go. We're going to sort out receiver, corner, safety, because Stooks is technically a safety in this, and interior O-line. That's what we're seeing from the chat. We're getting dunkers. We're getting some Hurst, Keontae, Dunker. It looks like Dunker is the popular. What do you think is the popular here?
I'm seeing a lot of Scott and Stooks.
Ted Hurst. Ted Hurst is here at 81. This is why I forgot Ted Hurst at this pick last time, because you had to scroll a little bit for him. Looks like Dunker is the popular one here.
It is.
I think I agree with Curtis. Too early for interior O-line.
All depends on who's there.
Yep. So
Dunker it is. Sorry.
Dunker.
The people were fastest on the draw with Dunker. It's too late for you people.
You guys asked for it.
Yep. It's your mock. You own it.
Your mock, guys. And this is exactly why. Because look at Slaughter, Schlereth, Hecht, all right there. That's why I told you not to do Dunker. JT and I just did this 2 days ago. If you guys are paying attention.
Dunker the clunker, says Andre.
See, now you're screwed, because what corner are you going to take?
Yeah, chat. Who you got here?
You want Dalen Everett?
They're asking, what's the receiver situation? That was Easton.
Not as good as it was last
that was a bunch
pick.
of you all.
Bryce Lance.
Seeing some Harold Perkins love in the chat.
Harold Perkins was very fast too. We've already got ourselves an edge in Zion Young.
Dalen Everett's a guy people are interested in, apparently. I'm seeing Bryce Lance at receiver is a popular answer. There's some Everett love in the chat, though.
Yeah.
Lance.
I haven't really seen.
Give me Bryce, Lance. Lance is the most common answer
Lance
here.
is running away with it.
All right, Lance it is.
And you guys hated my draft. You fools. Played yourself. You fools. You hated my draft, chat. You hated it. And you did two things. And I had 2 extra picks. Come on. This is what you asked for.
This is one of the mock drafts of all time, chat. This is one of them. Curtis says we failed, chat. Oh, the chat's defending themselves. This is way better. This draft is better than yours, Austin.
No, in no way.
LOL,
no
cry more, Austin, says Bork.
Way.
He said, we'll just give the ball to Love 35 times a game. Relax.
Crazy.
Got better on offense, says Big.
Get better on offense? Yeah, I love Jeremiah Love. Again, I'm all about that. If I did not trade back, my draft probably would have been like this.
Shane says Easton 1, chat 2A, Austin 2B. I can live with that. I think that's fair.
It's ridiculous.
Joe says A+ draft. Okay.
We did this. We did literally the chat drafted Zion Young in the 2nd round, and Iowa offensive lineman in the 3rd round, and Bryce Lance in the 4th round. Look at there. Look what I did. I did the same thing. I just happened to add extra players.
The best corner in the draft. For Lance. Yes, you did.
You did.
I saw so many Lances. Austin's draft was B-, chat was B+. I agree. Sadler,
because
I agree.
The only difference is Jeremiah Love.
Yeah.
And now all of a sudden, I'm getting punished by taking
the dunker pick sunk this draft.
I know. Yes, I agree. You should have gone with Hurst there, and then like Sam Hecht at 101. But that's not what you guys decided to do.
People are saying that Jeremiah Love changes everything. The love is strong with this fan base.
All right. Do we have time for good news?
We can always make time.
All right, let's do it. Woo, I did it all. I unshared my screen. I changed our show dimensions, and I put the graphic up all during that 4.5-second clip.
I'm proud of you, man. That was impressive.
Stress. I'm not out of breath. All right. Good news here on this Friday. If you have good news, share it. My good news, speed drafting is hard. Yeah. Now trying to do it on a video that you don't want to edit. You want to do a one-shot take in that? Yeah. All right. Good news. I see Steven says good news. I lose the draft off. Sad, this is good news. One day closer to the draft and not talking about mock drafts anymore until next year. I don't understand people that don't like mock drafts.
I mean, it is what it is. It's not my favorite thing in the world.
What's like a fun activity? What's something that's like objectively a fun activity?
Golf.
No.
I enjoy golf.
Objectively, not you.
Cornhole.
Objective. I was going to say like water balloon fights. Does anybody have a bad time in a water balloon fight? No.
Yeah, people that don't want to get wet.
Yeah, screw them. They're not having fun anyway. That's my point. That's my point. Is if you like, I don't want to get wet. I don't want to watch a mock draft. So just don't. Everybody else that's doing it is having fun.
Anyways, Bustin' Diamond says good news. My Iowa Hawkeyes are in the Elite Eight. Electric game, by the way, last night. Caught the end of that one. I mean, Nebraska folded like a cheap suit. That was tough. That was they were panicked in that final minute. That was a scared team. Good news from Jeff. Austin allowed us to have one of our end of show topics. Still not liking Till Shades come back though. Till Shade. We have not done Shade in a long time.
Tuesday shows keep being a doozy.
We'll get back to Shade eventually. Don't you worry about it. Good news, Braves opening weekend. Yeah, the Braves. It's our year. Go Braves. It's already over. Dalen, good news. The baby is finally getting over pneumonia and happy again. That is what a lift off the shoulders that can be. Good news, made it to a few shows this week. Glad to be back with A to Z. We're glad to have you back, Denise. Jake says good news. Practice game in 6U tonight. Real game on Tuesday. Big boy playing third. Attaboy. Strong. He must have a strong throw to get from third to first. Got a whip arm.
I played Little League third base as a lefty because the only one I could throw it over there fast enough.
Were you primarily a third baseman in baseball?
Well, I'm a lefty, so.
Yeah, I was just curious, like what you played most as a kid.
Outfield, because that's where lefties can go.
Right.
Once you get past the age of 7.
I played a lot of shortstops as a lefty. I played some second and some third. I never played outfield.
I love it. I am a golden retriever, so let me go chase fly balls. See, that's my water balloons. I just want to go play catch, and if you want to throw it as far as possible, I'll go chase it. And I'm gonna have a great time.
Right, school. I agree. Bowling's an objectively fun. I mean, sure, it's a pretty uncontroversial thing.
Yeah. Mock drafts, objectively fun. Just don't have a bad mood. I didn't know you were lefty.
This is wild. Good news. I'm like 92%. That's very specific. Recovered from having 8,000 creatine kinase. Normal is under 200. Whoa.
What?
Levels due to rhabdo. Oh, he had rhabdo.
Oh, it worked out too hard.
He was not able to walk. That is brutal. Yeah, I know that is commonly from people that are like grinding the gym, but I know there's more than one way to get that. So
that's
whatever
how
it is,
college strength coaches have gotten fired.
Giving kids rhabdo.
Yeah.
We need A to Z to 4. When was the last time you think Buck Rising did a mock draft? I don't know. Let's see. How do we feel about this? Sad news. My Razorbacks got eliminated last night, but good news. Vols play tonight and have a chance to advance. How do we feel, Austin, heading into tonight's game?
I'm confused on Burning Devils. Sad news, my Razorbacks, but good news, the Vols play tonight.
Yeah, he's just an SEC fan, I guess. I don't know,
yeah,
but
maybe.
I'm asking you how you feel about the Vols' chances tonight.
I got a long time, man. I literally have 12 hours.
It's gonna be a late game.
Yeah. How do I feel?
I like their chances.
I definitely feel it's very winnable.
Mm-hmm.
Iowa State, Iowa State's got some dudes that have tough names to pronounce, and then they've got an ankle injury just like the Vols do to watch.
Yeah, sure.
And I don't know what to do with that. So,
well, what's your good news today?
My good news is that the grass got cut this morning, and I didn't know that was going to happen.
Oh,
it happened during the chat's live draft, and so I'm excited about that. That was a surprise. Surprise! The grass is short now.
Cool.
So there
it's
you go.
To grow again. How about that?
Mm-hmm.
My good news is that I fly out to the owners' meetings on Saturday, and we'll be in beautiful, very hot, by the way, shockingly hot for this time of year. You want to guess what it is out in Arizona right now? Yesterday I checked midday, and it was 100 degrees.
Yeah, I mean, it was like 80 yesterday here.
March, like holy cow. So I got to go bust out some of my warmer clothing, but it's gonna be a good time. It's dry heat. It should be fine. It's hardly the 100 you get here in Nashville. So I'm just excited to see what the event is all about. I've not been to an owners meeting before, so it should be fun.
Nah, I'm getting hate. Buck, dads cut their own grass. Must be nice to have the big bucks that Austin just ran with somebody mowing the lawn.
Yeah, I bit my tongue on that one, but I did think of less of you for not cutting your own grass.
I have miserable pollen allergies.
That's a decent reason to not do it.
I'm miserable.
Does that extend through the summer, or is it just like a spring hit you? Like
usually it doesn't hit until another couple weeks. I'm usually like an early to mid-April, and
but
through
then are you in July? Like still
June? It? I have a couple like the grass pollen in June kills me. The trees murder me in the next couple weeks.
Okay, so that's about the only reason that I'll give you a pass on. So that's fair enough.
Like I've like did allergy shots for like 2 years because I have like that bad of allergies. So if I want to go, I used to cut my own grass.
Mm-hmm.
I did, and it would just wreck my next 36 hours. And so like I don't have time to do that.
You know what? Fair enough. You're acquitted. The court lets you go.
Yeah. Bork members. Austin used to be on his desk door on morning shows during policies before the allergy shots. Yeah, and now you're making fun of me for not cutting my own grass.
Good morning, welcome to A to Z.
No, it wasn't that. I used like literally. No, it was stopped up. I used to do. You guys don't know this.
Welcome into the A to Z morning show.
I used to do like 50 jumping jacks before sitting down to do the show because it would like clear me out for 15 minutes. Yeah, that's all it lasted. 15 minutes, and then I'd be stuffed up again.
Fair enough.
All right, that is it. Everybody have a great, safe weekend, and we'll catch you guys on Monday. Easton and Buck will be out there in Arizona for owners meetings. So great content coming over the weekend and early next week for that. And we've got some things coming around the corner on A to Z Sports as well. So make sure you hit that like button, you share the show, like the show, subscribe to the channel, all those great things. And we'll catch you guys over the weekend.
Wait.
What?
We had a super chat that we missed.
Oh, damn it.
No, we didn't miss it. We're here. We're still around. But it just dawned on me, and we're getting to it. Big. Going to waste money out of annoyance. The Chiefs had Hill and Kelsey, both 1,000 receivers, and a 1,300-yard running back before drafting Mahomes. See the Bears last year. So he thinks it is that important to go and get offense in the draft.
No, not crazy. I don't disagree with that. I just,
it's not the way the board fell for you, or me.
And I was curious. I've never picked at 11 before. What happens? I was thinking, like, what if Carnell Tate's there? Okay. I mean, I was, trying to have new life experiences.
Well, let the record reflect that Big 2033 is demanding some offensive weaponry in the draft.
That's fair. Totally fair.
Sorry for almost missing that, Big.
No, you're good. Yeah. Like the show. See ya.
Bye.